Last week on Greed.
For $25,000, is it Mars? Yes, it is. For $50,000, is it Yellow? Yes, it is. Okay. For $75,000, is it Jon Stewart? Yes! All right. For $100,000, is it E? You got it. For $200,000, is it Casablanca? Yes! For $500,000, a $500,000, is it cream cheese? Yes, it is. Is Buddy Holly worth $1 million?
From Los Angeles, it's the biggest game show in television history, where one person in one night could walk away with over $2 million. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Greed. And now, Chuck Woolery.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, on the last show, we gave away $1 million. It's the first time, I think, in television history that's happened, and it's all very exciting, and we're very excited about it. But it's not over yet, because it's time for their decision for $2.2 million, and here we go. First of all, let me introduce you to the Tower of Greed in case you have never seen this show before, and for those of you who have, be patient while I walk you through. They started off at $25,000. They then made $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. Then they went for $200,000, and things changed there. It was best 4 out of 6, best 4 out of 7, best 4 out of 8, and they accomplished every one of them through 200, through 500, now through $1 million. So now it's time for $2.2 million. Last week I told them what the category was, and I'm going to tell you again today. The category for the jackpot question of $2.2 million is odors. Everybody thought that was funny. But then again, that's the category. It's the best I can do. So you got the category, now the rules. The rules are all different because Captain, or Daniel here, was able to control the team. He had a lot of controls in all the other games. He could accept or reject an answer. He could decide how far up the Tower of Greed this team would move. That all changes now. His power is taken away, but that's a good thing. Because now what happens, each individual makes a decision on their own, independent of the other person. That means that Melissa may decide to go on for $2.2 million. Curtis may decide to go on. Maybe Daniel will not go on. Maybe Daniel will decide and they won't go on. We could end up with 2, 3, maybe even one person playing for $2.1 million. No one knows, and this is what we're here to find out. So, it's time for the decision. The category is odors. You have in front of you a red and green button. If you want to go for the cash, that $2.2 million, press the green button. If you want to keep the money that you have, the $1 million that you've earned, Daniel $200,000, Melissa $400,000, Curtis $400,000, then you want to press the red button and keep the cash. So is it keep the cash, or do you feel the need for greed? Lock in your choices now. Okay. Let's find out one by one what they've done. Curtis, are you going to keep that $400,000 or are you going for the $2.2 million?
Show me the money.
Show you the money. He's got the money. $400,000. Melissa, are you going to go for $2.2 million or are you going to keep your $400,000?
I'm going home.
She's going home with money. Daniel, if you decide to go, you alone will stand before this Tower of Greed, and you will be playing for $2.2 million by yourself. Are you going to go, or are you going to stop? He's going to go! Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Curtis. Right down here, if you will, please. Congratulations. All your money. Congratulations, Melissa. Good luck. Here we go.
Bye.
All right. Well, Daniel, you surprised me. I didn't know you were going to do this. I mean, nobody did. Unbelievable.
I didn't know I was going to do it.
What guts! Oh, man, I hope you make it, Daniel.
Thank
I really
you.
do. It's going to be you and me alone against that tower.
Okay.
Actually, Daniel, it's going to be you alone against the tower. We'll be back to find out if he can win $2.2 million right after this. Welcome back to Greed, everybody. I got to tell you, for myself, I feel like I'm in some kind of surrealistic dream. I mean, this is like $2.2 million or nothing. That's what our captain Daniel here is going for. I had never thought we'd get here, but boy, here we are. And let me tell you something. As captain, this is a little bit of history for him. He has had 7 chances to quit, take the money, and go home, and he hasn't. He stuck it out. He's turned down a Jaguar XK8 2000 and $25,000 in the trunk. It was about a $100,000 deal. Turned that down. He's going for the largest cash prize, as far as we know, in the history of television. And Curtis and Melissa, the two team members that he had, can actually thank him for the $400,000 apiece that they got, because he drugged them kicking and screaming with the courage that he had to climb that Tower of Greed to get them to $1 million, although they did participate. So, we all, before we do any more, we all are appreciative of your courage, and thank you very much, and wish you well.
Thank you.
So, are you ready for the jackpot question worth $2.2 million?
Yes, I am.
Let me invite you right down here.
Thank you.
Stand on the left right there. All right, Daniel. Here is your question. According to a Yale University study of the most recognizable smells, which 4 of the following 9 topped the list? Baby powder, peanut butter, mothballs, tuna, coffee, dry cat food, chocolate, cinnamon, Vicks Vapo Rub. You feel confident? It's a tough question.
That's a tough question.
Well, it's worth a lot and so I know you understand.
I know.
Yeah.
They weren't going to make it easy.
No. So
Okay.
you have 30 seconds to think of your answers, and start now.
Okay, I've got a couple of quick ones here. Peanut butter.
Just think of them.
I know, peanut butter and tuna. The coffee. Everybody drinks the coffee. Baby powder. No. Vicks Vapor Rub. Jeez. I'm gonna say tuna for sure. Then peanut butter. Peanut butter is my next choice. Coffee is my third choice. And Vicks Vapor Rub.
Okay, those are your 4 choices. Does he get a chance to change anything? Okay, you don't have a chance. You're captain, but all those things are gone.
I know.
Well, boy, oh boy, here we go. All right,
Okay.
Daniel, let's take a look together and see what we think. Do we have peanut butter? Yes.
Okay.
Very distinctive smell.
Jeez. One.
Is There's coffee there. Yes.
Okay. 2 down.
2 answers away from $2.2 million, Daniel. How about Vicks Vapo Rub? Yes! Oh, man, you may get it. You may get this, Daniel. You may get this.
I hope so.
Close. Oh, no.
My heart.
Oh, this is a good answer. It's one of the. I think it's a great answer. I really do. Let's
Okay.
hope. I don't know what's there either. Let's hope that that's it. For $2.2 million, is it tuna? Is it? Oh, Daniel. Oh, Daniel. Oh, I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed it's chocolate.
Neither would have I.
Because it's not a
Obviously.
pungent smell.
Exactly.
Like, oh, Daniel.
Okay.
Well, my friend, you showed an enormous amount of courage.
Thank you.
You were great to have on the show. Okay. I am so sorry you're leaving with
All
nothing.
right. Okay.
Thank you for playing. You made our lives.
Playing.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Daniel.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Right over here.
Well, what a shame. What a shame. Tried to give away $2.2 million, and he missed it after giving up the car and all that money. Oh, boy. What a guy this guy was. Was he great or what? I mean, fantastic. Daniel was all right. Well, they don't call it the most dangerous game in America for nothing. I'll tell you what, we're going to come back with a new team, more greed, right after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to Greed, everybody. Our new team will be playing for $2,250,000. Lots of money this time. Let's meet him right now.
Joey Chang,
Boston, Mass. Artist.
Bob Basile,
Chino, California. Appraisal office worker.
Antoinette Hewitt,
Montebello, California, attorney.
Andre Morgan,
Los Angeles, California, sales retail manager.
Kent Marshall,
Vancouver, Canada, building contractor.
Elizabeth Evans.
New York City, executive secretary.
All right, everybody, let's get started by asking our qualifying question. Here's the qualifying question. What is the total number of Americans sent into space to date? Your time starts now. All right, all your answers are locked in. I'm going to give you the correct answer. You're going to be very surprised. Wait till you hear this. The answer is 243. Isn't that amazing? And I'll break it down for you. 215 men, 28 women have been sent into space today. Okay, let's find our captain and see who was closest. Bob was 65. That's you. Come on over here and take your position. All right. Who is our next player? Antoinette with 45. That would be you right over here in position number 1. Who else gets to play for 2 minutes? Okay, Andre, that will be you. You're in position number 2. We have 3 left. Who else? Who's next? All right, Kent, it's you, right over here in position number 3. Well, it's down to Joey or Lizzie. Somebody's going to go back in the contestant pool. Let's see who's going to play for $2 million. Is it Joey or Lizzie? Who is it? It's you, Lizzie. Number 4, Joey, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your team. Well, let me catch everybody up and tell you about the Tower of Greed. This is our common foe. It's yours for sure. We start at $25,000 in $25,000 increments. We move up to $100,000. There we double it and go to $200,000. There we go to $500,000. We double that, go to $1 million, and then we move on to our jackpot of over $2 million. So, Captain Bob, let me explain your responsibilities. You're going to decide just how far your team can go up the Tower of Greed. You can stop anytime and keep the cash. It's your decision. You can also reject any answer that your teammates give you and replace it with one of your own. And may I say, On greed, we start off with very serious money. Our first question is worth $25,000. And Lizzie, how are you? Welcome to Greed.
I'm doing just great, Chuck. Thank you.
Good. Lizzie,
Yes?
if you won $2 million, what would you do with it?
I'd quit my job as a secretary and move my boyfriend and I to Australia.
Really? Australia?
Yes.
Why Australia?
He and I have always wanted to visit there, and we're thinking about making a move together, and that's where we would decide to go.
Lizzie, here is your $25,000 question. According to Nabisco, which of the following is their best-selling cookie? Teddy Graham's, Lorna Doones, Nilla Wafers, Oreos.
My boyfriend and I, our favorite cookie, the Oreo.
Oreos. Do you dip them in milk and coffee and do all that? Yeah.
Milk.
What do you think, Bob?
Chuck,
Do you accept
I'm
or reject it?
I'm going to accept that answer.
Think for $25,000. Is it Oreos? That's what I would have said. Well, it's $25,000. You want to risk your team's $25,000 or keep the cash? You want to go for the 50? What are you going to do?
Chuck, we're going on.
All right, here we go. Hi, Kent. Welcome to Greed, Kent.
Thank you.
Good. You feeling comfortable?
Very.
I want you to be comfortable, Kent. Okay, I want you to win. You know that.
Thanks.
What would you do with $2 million if you got it, Kent?
I'd start an adventure tour company, Chuck.
Really? And where would you go?
I'd start it in Canada,
Good.
in the mountains.
Great. Is that where you're from?
Well, I'm from Vancouver, yes.
Good. Okay, Kent. Here is your $50,000 question, Kent. In The Wizard of Oz, what does the lion want from the wizard? Does he want a brain, a liver, courage, a new mane?
I believe it's courage, Chuck.
You accept or reject that answer, Bob?
I'm remembering Bert Lahr, and I accept that answer.
Courage. Is it courage for $50,000? It is indeed. Congratulations. Everybody has $10,000. Now, Bob, you want to keep that $50,000, or do you want to go for the greed? Do you feel a need for greed, Bob?
Chuck, we're going on.
Going on to 75. Here we go. Andre.
How you doing, Ed?
How are you, Andre?
All right.
Welcome to Greed, my friend. Well, Andre, if you got $2 million, what would you do with it?
Pay off some bills and start my own recording studio.
Really? Do you sing or do you just produce?
Well, I'm gonna learn how to produce with $2 million, so.
Okay, well, good luck. All right, Andre, here is your $75,000 question. Dating back to ancient Greece, what toy was popularized in America by Donald Duncan in the 1920s? Was it a top, a yo-yo, a frisbee, a boomerang, or a pogo stick?
Well, I'm gonna go with yo-yo.
You think it's yo-yo?
Of course.
Bob, do you accept or reject that answer?
Chuck, it's the Duncan yo-yo. I accept that answer.
Hard to believe, isn't it? Back in ancient Greece, they were yo-yoing. Well, let's see. Is it yo-yo for $75,000? It is. I never would have believed they were yo-yoing back then. 75,000, Bob. You want to keep the cash? Do you feel the need for greed? 100's next.
Antoinette, I want to hear. We're moving on.
Are we moving on, Antoinette?
Let's do it.
That's what she
All
says.
right.
Okay. How are you, Antoinette?
It's great. Thanks.
Welcome to Greed.
Thank you.
Antoinette, if I gave you $2 million tonight, what would you do?
Well, after starting my scholarship for underprivileged children, it's Antoinette.com.
There you go. All right. Good for you. All right. Well, here is your $100,000 question, Antoinette. According to a recent Forbes magazine, 98 of the 400 wealthiest Americans live in which state? Do they live in Rhode Island, Oklahoma, California, Colorado, or Ohio?
Well, Chuck,
$100,000.
I'm going to show a little prejudice, I think, and say California.
You think it's California? Why did you pick California, Antoinette?
Well, the biggest and the brightest hail from here, so.
It's going to make everybody else in the United States happy, I'm sure. Bob, do you accept or reject that answer?
I'm going to accept that answer.
And why do you accept it, Bob?
Well, population numbers.
Let's see if it's right. I think you might be right. Let's take a look. For $100,000, is it California? It is. They got $100,000. They're on their way to 225. That's what it is. It's a big number. We'll be back to see if they can climb the Tower of Greed right after this. Stay with us.
From Los Angeles, it's the biggest game show in television history, where one person in one night could walk away with over $2 million. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Greed, the multi-million-dollar challenge.
Welcome back to Greed, everybody. For those of you just joining us, we had an incredible moment earlier in the show. Daniel, the captain from last week's team, actually stood alone before the Tower of Greed and played for $2.2 million. And if you missed that, we're going to show it to you later on in the game. But right now, let's get back to this game. We're here with Lizzie, Kent, Andre, Antoinette, and their captain, Bob. They have reached the $100,000 level. They've each earned $20,000. And they're just 4 questions away from winning over $2 million. $2.25 million. That's exactly what it is. All right, everybody. In this round, the questions get a little harder. Each question has 4 correct answers, so you're going to be depending on your teammates to come up with those answers. And Bob, you have an important decision to make, whether you want to keep that $100,000 or risk it. But before you make that decision, let me give you the category of the $200,000 question. The category for everyone is home electronics. Now, you got to ask yourself a question, Bob. You want to keep the cash, or do you feel the need for greed?
Chuck, we're going on.
Going on.
You bet.
$200,000 question. Here it comes. That's the sound of the Terminator. It gives a player a chance to eliminate another player and take all their money and challenge them to a 1-question showdown. To sweeten the pot, I'm going to give that challenger $10,000, win or lose. I'm now going to activate the Terminator. Antoinette. The Terminator has chosen you. Will you take the challenge for $10,000 and call out a fellow player?
I will.
Who would you like to call out?
Lizzie, let's do it.
Lizzie, here we go, kiddo. Lizzie, you're being challenged. You'll be on this side. Antoinette on this side since you're the challenger. Antoinette, here is your $10,000. Congratulations. All right, everybody. The winner plays for $80,000. The loser is out of the game. Here is your question. Ready? What's the minimum age required to run for President of the United States? Lizzie?
45.
I'm sorry, it's an incorrect answer. It's 35. Congratulations, Antoinette, by default. You got her. Lizzie is gone. A victim of greed. Well, it happens. And now there are 4. And here is your $200,000 question. According to the Consumer Electronics Manufacturers Association, which 4 of these 6 products are found in the most U.S. households? Televisions, radios, VCRs, personal computers, home CD players, telephone answering devices. Now, since you've reached this level, Bob, you get a freebie. You can use this any time between now and the jackpot. It's worth taking one wrong answer out of the mix, okay? So that will delete a wrong answer anytime you want to use it. If you feel like you need it now, you may use it now, or you can save it. What do you want to do?
I think we'll hold on to it.
Gonna hold on to the freebie?
You bet. Yeah.
Kent, that means you're up. Give me a correct answer, please.
Televisions, Chuck. It's televisions.
You think it's televisions? That's one. Andre?
VCRs.
VCRs. Antoinette?
Telephone answering devices.
Telephone answering devices. 3 left, Bob. Which one do you think it is?
Radios.
You think it's radios? All right, Bob, you are the captain. You can change any answer you don't like. Only one. Is there anything there that you'd like to change?
I'm so-so about the answering devices. Yes, I think I'm going to change that answer.
What would you change it to, Bob?
PCs.
Personal computer.
Yes.
Okay, Antoinette, you've been changed. Team, he's made the change for you by virtue of the fact that he is the captain. So, Bob, the weight rests on you. Let's see if you're correct. For $200,000, how about televisions? Yes. Radios, is it there? Yes. That's 2. All right. You're two answers away. Do we have VCRs? Yes, that's 3. Well, now here we are. Here we are, Bob. We're down to the nitty-gritty now, my friend. That's that last thing. You didn't know whether it was telephone answering devices. You think it's, what did you think it was, personal computers?
That's what I gave.
Bob, here's one pack. Here's another pack. This is $20,000, a real $100. It's real cash. If that answer is not right, it may not be, it may be, I don't know. I'm going to give you this $20,000. You can distribute it among your team and walk away here with $20,000 among you. Or you can take the chance to see if that change you made is correct. What are you going to do?
Here you go. We're going for it.
All right. For $200,000. Is it personal computers? No, it's not. It's not personal computers. And Bob, guess what it was?
Telephone answering machine.
It was telephone answering devices. Antoinette was absolutely right. I'm so sorry. Thank you all for playing this game. Bob, sorry about that, my friend. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. We'll have a new team right after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to Greed, everybody. Our new team will be playing for $2.3 million, and let's meet them right now.
Jonathan Brownlee.
East Orange, New Jersey, a senior radiologic technologist.
Sean Sorensen.
Santa Ana, California, and I'm an executive consultant.
Joanna Bushnell.
Washington, D.C., and I'm a mom.
Jeff Peterson.
Highland Park, Illinois, restaurant owner.
Rachel Osborne.
Irwin, Pennsylvania, executive assistant.
Tom Galloway.
Silicon Valley, California, computer educator.
All right, let's start off by asking our qualifying question. Good luck to all of you, and see who's going to be playing for $2.3 million tonight. According to a recent poll published by USA Today, what percentage of newlywed men say they fell in love at first sight? Your time starts now. Okay, everybody's locked in. Let me give you the correct answer. The correct answer is 86%. Yeah, I mean, I did Love Connection all those years and I didn't realize 86%. That's a lot. Fell in love at first sight. Well, let's see who's going to be our captain. Jonathan, 65%. Very nice. Come on this way, sir.
Thank you.
You are captain of the team.
Yes.
Who is our next player? Tom with 60%. Take position number 1, sir. Who else is playing on this team? Joanna, 45%. Take your position on number 2, please. Of these 3, who's going to be playing on our team next? Sean, position number 3. Congratulations. It's between Jeff and Rachel. Well, one of you will go back into the contestant pool. One will be playing for $2 million. Let's see who it's going to be now. Jeff, congratulations. Rachel, thank you. Jeff, right over here, position number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your team. Let me familiarize everybody with the Tower of Greed. We start at $25,000. In $25,000 increments, we move up to $100,000. There we double it and go to $200,000. There we go to $500,000. We double that, go to $1 million, and then we move on to our jackpot of over $2 million. And Captain Jonathan, welcome, by the way. You have a lot of responsibility. You're going to decide just how far you can take your team up the Tower of Greed. You can stop after any correct answer and keep the cash. Okay? You can also reject any answer the teammates give you and replace it with one of your own. On Greed, as I've said many times before, we start off with serious money. We're not fooling around here, Jeff. Welcome to Greed. Yeah. So, Jeff, if I give you $2 million, what would you do with it?
Well, if I was on that big of a winning streak, I'd have to go to Vegas and double it. You know?
Oh, really?
Oh, you know. You know, I'd be hot. So
right at the roulette table, let her go. Well, Jeff, here is your $25,000 question just to get you started. According to their popular advertising slogan, which of the following products is associated with good? Is it Budweiser beer, Burger King Whopper, Campbell's soup, Diet Coke? Good. I just like to say that. Jeff, which one do you think it is?
I'd go with Campbell's soup because it's, I've heard it so many years. Has
All right.
to be it.
You accept or reject that answer,
I accept that answer, Chuck.
All right. $25,000. Is it Campbell's soup? Oh, yeah. There you go. Well, you're on your way. Have 5,000 apiece. Want to risk your team's 25,000, or do you feel the need for greed, Jonathan?
I feel that need for greed.
Here we go. $50,000 coming up. All right, Sean. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Well, Sean, say you just won $2 million. What would you do with it?
Well, I'd travel completely around the world and cause as much trouble as possible,
Really?
I think. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Always wondered how you could travel incompletely around the world, but that's all right. That's another question. Here is your $50,000 question, Sean. After it was invented in 1944, what popular children's toy was sold to the public in plastic eggs? Was it Slinky, Play-Doh, Silly Putty, or Nerf Ball?
That would be Silly Putty, Chuck.
I think that's Silly Putty. He seemed very sure of himself, Jonathan. What do you think? You accept or reject?
I agree with him. I accept that answer.
For $50,000, is it Silly Putty? Yes, it is. All right, congratulations. Good deal. Okay, Jonathan, $50,000. Keep the cash or go for the greed. 75's next. Want to risk it?
Want to risk it.
He's going to risk it. Here we go. Hi, Joanna. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Joanna, you just won $2 million. What are you going to do with it?
I'd give some to charity, and the rest I'd buy a large sailboat and sail away with my husband and kids.
All right. Well, good luck. Joanna, here is your $75,000 question. Joanna, What is the only bird capable of flying backwards? Is it a woodpecker, an oriole, a hummingbird, a loon, or a hawk?
I believe it's a hummingbird, Chuck.
You believe it's a hummingbird. Jonathan, you accept or reject?
I will accept that answer.
You're way ahead of me, Jonathan. You just jumped all over that. You accepted.
Yes.
All right. Well, you seem very sure of yourself. Let's see. $75,000. Is it a hummingbird? You're just clipping right along.
Yes.
75,000, Jonathan. 15,000 in everybody's pocket. Keep the cash, or do you feel a need for greed, Jonathan?
Feel that need, Chuck.
Hi, Tom.
Chuck.
Welcome to Greed.
Thank you.
Hey, Tom, you just won $2 million, Tom. What are you going to do with it?
Well, I think I'm fielding a lot of requests from my Silicon Valley friends for funding for startups.
All right, good. Yeah, so new businesses.
Yep.
Well, Tom, here is your $100,000 question. Which of the following gases gives the Goodyear blimp its lift? Is it hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, helium, or ozone?
I am absolutely positive that it's helium.
Positive that it's helium. Jonathan, do you feel comfortable with that? You accept or reject?
I feel comfortable. I accept it.
You accept his answer? For $100,000, is it helium? It is indeed. This team has $100,000. They're going to come back, try to climb the Tower of Greed. Welcome back to Greed, everybody. We're here with Jeff, Sean, Joanna, Tom, and their captain, Jonathan. They all have $20,000. They've reached that $100,000 level. They're just 4 questions away from winning $2.3 million, okay? In this round, the questions get a little harder, everybody. Each question has 4 correct answers, so you'll be depending on your teammates to help you out. Jonathan, here's the decision for you. You want to keep that $100,000 or do you want to risk it? Before you answer that question, let me give you the category. A little help here for the $200,000 question. Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. All right, Jonathan, now you got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? You want to keep the cash or do you feel the need for greed?
I'll keep the cash.
You're going to what?
Keep the cash.
You're going to keep the cash. $20,000 apiece. Well, decided to keep the cash. Well, congratulations, Jonathan. You put $20,000 in everybody's pocket. It didn't look to me like your team really wanted to quit, but that's your job. You took them right up to $20,000. Thanks for playing the game. Now, for those of you who didn't see the beginning of tonight's show, our captain from last week was Daniel Avila. He was the only player left to play for $2.2 million. It's a lot of fun to watch, and after you see this, we're going to start a new game, so watch. Do we have peanut butter? Yes.
Okay.
Very distinctive smell. Is coffee there? Yes.
Okay. 2 down.
2 answers away from $2.2 million, Daniel. How about Vicks Vapo Rub? Yes! Oh, man, you may get it. You may get this, Daniel. You may get this.
I hope so.
Close. No.
My heart.
Oh, this is a good answer. It's one of the. I think it's a great answer. I really do. Let's hope. I don't know what's there either. Let's hope that that's it. For $2.2 million, is it tuna? Is it? Daniel. Oh, I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed it's chocolate. Oh, boy. You know, Daniel was so courageous. I mean, he led that team all the way and to end up like that. And chocolate, it's such a subtle smell. He came real close, Well, I told you we'd have a new team. Let's meet him right now. Here we go.
Robert Barton.
Lake Forest, California, building inspector.
John McLaughlin.
Philadelphia, PA, narcotics agent.
Charmaine Lewis.
Jamaica West Indies journalist.
Michael Pedersen.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina, writer.
Melissa Iannuzzo.
Boston, Massachusetts, radio producer.
Arlen Bennett Crane.
Seattle, Washington, day trader.
All right. We start off with 6 players. In a moment, we'll be down to 5 players, and by the end of the game, there may be only 1 player left. Because if they're smart enough, and I'm sure you guys are smart enough, if you're courageous enough, I know you have courage, and I know you're going to be greedy enough, you could go away with over $2 million, okay? Let's get started by asking our qualifying question. Here it is. According to USA Today, how many homemade meals does the average American eat each year? Your time starts now. Still waiting for them all to lock in. Okay, everybody's locked in. The answer is 917. That's how many meals Americans have in the average year, how many homemade meals they have. So let's see who came closest and who is our captain. It's you, Robert. Congratulations. You're the captain. Come on up here and take your place. Congratulations. And who is next? Charmaine, you're next. Congratulations. Right over here. Who next will be playing for over $2 million? Who's next? Melissa, you're next. Down to John, Michael, and Arlen. Who is next to play for over $2 million? John, congratulations, right over there in 3rd position. It's up to Michael and Arlen. See who came the closest. Who's our final player? Arlen, it's you. Thank you, Michael. Arlen, right over here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your team for greed. Well, every team has a common foe. In this case, it is the Tower of Greed. Let's take a look at it. We start off with $25,000. We go in $25,000 increments all the way up to $100,000. There we double to $200,000. Then we move to $500,000. Then we double that to $1 million. And then this day, we are at $2,350,000. That is our jackpot prize. Well, we have our team in place, and next time we'll start off with that $25,000 question because we're out of time. Thanks for joining us this time. I'm Chuck Woolery. See you next time on Greed. Bye-bye, everybody.